going to do a multiplying worksheet, and then you have a review worksheet that we were doing in class 2. So we did a couple different things. Those are 2 of them that we did. So let's take a look at our lesson for today. Get your worksheet. Looks like this. I printed both of them side by side. You can have them separate, whatever's easier. Let's start by reviewing what we know about the different properties of addition. So we remember that there's 3 different kind of properties. We had the commutative, the associative, and the identity property. We're going to use the associative property in multiplication today. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about the associative. We're going to write that on that first blank. The associative property of multiplication. Now in addition, it meant we could add in any order. In multiplication, we don't call them add-ins though. We call them factors. We can group our factors differently and our product remains the same. So no matter how we group, like if we have 4 times 6 times 2, I could group 6 and 2 and then multiply by 4. Or I can multiply 4 times 6 times 2. I can change my order of my factors and I'll still get the same answer because of the associative property. So we're going to look through and do an example, okay? So I can break apart my 30. Now, I could do this a few different ways with multiplication. I'm going to pick the 3 times 10. And I keep my factor of 2 the same. 3 times 10, because when I multiply by 10s, it's really easy to multiply. So now what I'm going to do is group them to make a nice simple basic fact over here. I'm going to do 2 times 3. I'm going to group my first 2. Then I'm going to put my 10 times 10 at the end. Now I solve what's inside my parentheses first. 3 times 2, that's 6. And now I know 6 times 10 is 60. What we did was we really said that 30 could be broken, remember, into that 3 and that 10. Then I looked for that nice basic fact of 2 times 3, and I multiply by 10, adding a 0 at the end. Let's look at, we'll do 3 practice problems together, and I'll have you do a 4 in the other page for more practice. 8 times 7. I'm thinking through my math facts of 8 times 7. So 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56. 8 times 7, I remember, is 56. Now, when I'm doing 8 times 70, I'm looking for that hidden kind of mini math fact like we did up here, 2 times 3. What I'm going to do is take 8 times 7. Again, I know that that's 56. That hasn't changed. Now, when I multiply by what's left over, that 10, because it's in that 10 spot, I add 1 0 because I had 1 0 in my factors. Now, let's look at 8 times 700. I'm looking for that mini math fact. And 8 times 7 to make it easier. Well, that's still 56. But now I'm multiplying it by 100 because it's in the hundreds. So I add 2 zeros. 5,600. And 8 times 7,000 seems really scary. But I remember 8 times 7 is 56. And this time I add 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 to get my product of 56,000. Now, when we do some problems, sometimes it's going to look tricky because our answer, our product, our mini math fact product has a 0 in it. So let's do 5 times 4. Well, we remember that that is 20. Now, if I do 5 times 40, I think about that mini math fact of 5 times 4. And I remember that that's 20. And now I need to add a 0. So even though I have 2 zeros, I only added 1 because that first 20 kind of came from my answer, my mini math fact. Because normally we just add 1 0, but we have 2 in our answer. So let's try 5 times 400. Mini math fact, 5 times 4 is still 20. and I add 2 zeros to get 2,000. Now when I do 5 times 4,000, catch on, I still have that mini math fact of 20, and I'm going to add 3 zeros for 20,000. Now in these problems, we kind of built our way up from our regular fact. Now let's try one where we don't have that mini fact given to us. We have to find it. So I'm looking through my numbers, and I see a mini math fact of 2 times 7, because these both have zeros. So I can do 2 times 7 is 14 and add in 2 zeros. So you try 7 times 70. And unpause the video when you're ready to see that answer. Wow, we should have gotten 490. 490, because 7 times 7 was 49. And we add 1 0 because we're multiplying by 10. So you're going to try problems 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you're going to check back here before you go on to your homework. So unpause the video when you're ready to see your answers. All right, let's look over those answers. For number 1, let's zoom in a little more. There we go. 3 times 7 was 21, and you'd use that mini math fact to help you find 210, 2,100, and 21,000. Number 2, your mini math fact equaled 24, so then you'd find 240, 2,400, and 24,000. Number 3 didn't give you that mini math fact, so you had to figure out it was 8 times 6 to get 48, and add a 0 to get 480, 4,800, and 48,000. Number 4, should have done 4 times 2 to get 8, and added 3 zeros to get 8,000. Number 5 should have done 7 times 4, even though it had it first, we could still do 7 times 4 to get to 28 and add 2 zeros for 2,800. And number 6 was 6 times 6 for 36, and adding 1 0 because it's got 1 in our factor over there. Now, for number 7, I wanted you to use an inequality. That was like greater than, less than, or equal to. Well, we figure out 4 times 400 should be 1,600, right? And 8 times 4, get 32, and add 3 zeros, 32,000 and 1,600. Well, 32,000 is greater, so 4 times 400 is less than 4 times 8,000. Okay, looking at this too, we can tell because 4 and 4 are the same, those kind of cancel out. So let's look at 400 and 8,000. Well, we know 8,000 is bigger, so we can think of it that way too. All right. Remember, you can always rewind or watch again if you need help looking over those problems. Now, you've got your homework. Page 99 through 100. 1 through 18 are on page 99. Then you have 2 on the back for page 100. You got 19 and 20 on the back. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for joining today. Bye.